Hello and welcome back. So this next video is on Kathmandu. So we ended up staying in Kathmandu for about 4 or 5 days before we headed over and spent just over 2 weeks hiking in the Annapurna region over in Western Nepal. So this first video is focusing on those first couple of days in Kathmandu. So I hope you enjoy. So step one was flying to Kathmandu. Guess where we are? Oh, it's backwards, so you can't really tell. In Nepal. We made it. Actually, a fairly decent flight. I got a row to myself, and Orion got 2 seats to himself. So Orion's friend Krishna picked us up at the airport, and he took us back to his house because for the couple of days while we were in Kathmandu, we were staying with his family, which was fantastic. We have arrived to our room in Krishna's house.
Phenomenal.
Yes, phenomenal. Such a wonderful guy. Very nice family. So here's the bedroom. It's where we'll be sleeping. There's Orion, grabbing his stuff.
Hi.
And we have. Do you know what it is? Like a dye or like a powder?
What it's made out of? I don't know, to be honest. I used to know the name for the act of putting it on, but now it's lost in my Nepal notes.
Well, when we got here, they gave us a little welcoming ceremony. They gave us these scarves and gave us some red powder on our forehead, and actually gave us some money so that we would walk in not empty-handed. Right?
Yeah.
Super nice. So after our welcoming ceremony, Krishna showed us around his house. Right behind their apartment, they have this really beautiful garden, which was filled with all sorts of different vegetables and goods, and that they use pretty frequently in their cooking, which was really cool to see. And then we went up to the roof afterwards, which had, and from there you had a great view of like kind of surrounding area. And it was just really, really beautiful. So the next day we ended up kind of walking around the immediate area, exploring what Kathmandu had to offer. And one of the first places we went was Patem Dabar Square, which is this really old square, not terribly far from where we were staying, which had some architecture, which was super, super beautiful. The building on the left there was actually a building created out of one stone for Krishna, the avatar of Vishnu, which was pretty cool. Afterwards, there was a museum right next to it because this is also where the old palace used to be. And they turned the palace into a museum of different Hindu art and artifacts that were found all throughout Kathmandu. And this was super awesome. It was really cool to see what kind of art the area had and the artifacts that were kind of maintained. And then the building itself was also a museum. The building itself was also super historical, so the architecture of it was fantastic, and that was really cool to see. Afterwards, we continued exploring some and found, like Kathmandu has all sorts of different temples and ancient historical buildings just kind of nestled between all of the buildings. So this was a kind of shrine surrounded by some water here, which was just super cool to stumble upon. Afterwards, we got a quick lunch before going and playing some basketball with Krishna and his friends, because Krishna used to be a college basketball player, which is pretty cool. So that was really fun as well. Afterwards, we headed over to Tamil, which is kind of like the big shopping district, really, where all the tourists really are, to be honest. But it was super cute layout, really tight streets, and very colorful, lots of flags. We met up with our guide Gia to introduce ourselves and see if we needed any sort of planning, and then we also got some stuff. As you can see, that last video there was us kind of working our way through a very busy store. And then we got some coffee before heading in for the night. So the next day, Orion and I were on our own, and we ended up heading over to the other side of town to check out the Buddha Stupa, which is a ancient Buddhist shrine that has been around for a really long time and is a big pilgrimage site. So we headed over there to check it out, and it was absolutely stunning. And really such a crazy thing to have right in the middle of a city. Here we are at the Buddhist Stupa. Buddhist Stupa. Is this a pilgrimage site?
Yeah.
A pilgrimage site?
Well, it's a
Doggy.
it has a couple of important monikers. It's also supposed to be like the tether between heaven and earth.
That matches. That tracks. But very cool. It looks super amazing. It's huge in person. So afterwards, we got some delicious saffron milk tea at a little shop overlooking the Buddha Stupa, which was a really nice little spot to have been able to sit. And then we headed over to the Monkey Temple, which is actually on the other side of the city. But it's a temple, a Buddhist temple all the way on top of a mountaintop. And it's called the Monkey Temple because there is a ton of monkeys. Surprise, surprise, right? So there are tons of monkeys there. I mean, as you can see here, I mean, an absolutely crazy amount. I was really nervous about being bit. I really did not want to get rabies, but there were just so many that you kind of couldn't avoid them. But that was really cool to see, especially since they were kind of just intermingling with all the dogs. They just had a little, I guess, like little pact to not hurt each other or something. I don't know, but really cool to see. Monkeys were really funny. And the temple itself was absolutely stunning. And the view that we had of the surrounding city was also incredible. So this was probably one of my favorite spots in Kathmandu. So afterwards, we headed back, had dinner, and then met up with Krishna and went out at 12 o'clock at night to go to a midnight festival, which was celebrating Vishnu kind of coming back as an avatar and killing this demon. And here's some clips of it. As you can see, it's in Patan Depar Square. So very busy, but super cool to have been able to see. So I'll just let these videos play. So the next day we hopped on our motorcycle taxis and headed over to Bhaktapur, which is about a 30-minute drive away, which has a lot of really ancient architecture and it's a medieval town, so like these super cute streets. So we checked that out, which was really, really cool. Bhaktapur, which is the old capital of the Nepalese kingdom before they moved it to current-day Kathmandu. It's only about a maybe 30-minute ride from the center of Kathmandu, but it's super gorgeous. It's a medieval town, really cool architecture, tiny streets, bustling avenues, which is awesome. And they're also, the area is known for its curd as well. So King curd. So we'll be getting some very tasty yogurt. So we stayed there for a couple of hours. I mean, it's a big town and there's a lot of space to cover. So we just kind of walked around, explored the area, lots of people drying rice and such. And, you know, every little kind of corner you turn around, there was a temple or a shrine. So there was lots to see. We stumbled upon some people playing chess, and Orion actually played one of them, which was pretty cool. And then we also walked up to this place called the Pottery Square, where they've made a ton of pottery. They just continually make pottery there. We didn't get any, alas, since we only have the one bag each, and very easy to break pottery when you only got one bag. So instead we just kind of walked around and saw what the area had to offer. We got some coffee at a shop and some momo, which were delicious. Momo is kind of like a Nepali dumpling, super tasty. So we just kind of explored the area. So speaking of momo, that night we actually came back, and Krishna and his family showed us how to make momo. So we got 2 recipes. Chicken momo and vegetable momo, which was pretty much cabbage. And they showed us how to make them, gave us the ingredients and, how to fold the dumplings and such. Super fun. I'm super excited to come home and make these for my family. The sauce that you eat them with was also really, really, really tasty. And the whole experience was fantastic. It was fun being able to make them with the fam. As you can see here, we were listening to music and dancing while doing it, so it was a great time. Afterwards, we ate all the momos in the living room, watched some television, which was fun. So that was awesome. Probably one of my favorite things that I did in Kathmandu. So the next day we headed back to Tamil, so the big tourist shopping center in the middle of town, because we wanted to check out the Nepali art exhibit. So this is all different Nepali art and artists, and it was super cool to be able to see. There's a lot of really beautiful art pieces and such. Anything from, expressionist, abstract to lots of things Hindu related, metalworking. It wasn't super big. It didn't take us very long. So afterwards we were able to come back outside and get some tea. We did some tea sampling, which was really cool. So afterwards, Krishna took us to this club called Jazz upstairs, where we kind of just relaxed, ate some momo, and listened to some jazz music. Then the very next day, we woke up at the crack of dawn and headed west to hop in a van to make it over to Annapurna, to the start of our trek, which was very exciting. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed. So the next video will be on probably the first half of our hike in the Annapurna range. So the first half of the Annapurna circuit. So hope you enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one.